Hi there. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your host, Praying Medic. Here's today's message.
Hey there, this is Praying Medic, and I am coming at you today with a little tip on how to set up Divi for WordPress to keep those annoying large images off of your blog posts. So I'm using a Divi theme, and I'm going to show you a few things here. So I have my landing page set up so that I've got a section here which has 3 across featured articles, and as you can see I've got fairly narrow previews of 6 different blog posts. If you click on either this button or if you click on the link to the blog, it'll take you to the actual blog homepage, and I'm going to do that now, show you where that takes us. So on the blog homepage, I've got my blog posts set up in 2 across with a right sidebar, and I've got a total of 10 blog posts set up. So you see previews with a read more of each one, and then I've got my right sidebar where I've got my blog roll and my advertising for my books. If you click on, and you'll notice on these images, it's just a preview image, and this rectangular size is the best size proportion that you can use. I would strongly recommend using images that are rectangular in this kind of proportion. It just works out best that way. I really try not to use square images or images that are tall. I always try to use rectangular images. They display the best. So when you click on one of the blog posts, it'll open that in a separate page all its own. And what I have now is, you'll see, I just have the title, no image. I've got my text, I've got my right sidebar with my books, and the blog roll. And you can go through the blog post. And I just decided that I don't want to have the actual image, the featured image, in a blog post. I think it's distracting. It's just not something that I want in my blog posts. If I have a certain image that I want somewhere to appear in the blog post, you can embed that somewhere. Like, let's say you have an image here, you can put in an image between your text and just put your image to the left or center, wherever you want. I just don't like doing that very often. It's just my personal preference. So I do embed images into my blog post, usually a link to a book. So let me show you under the hood. So on my front page, if I go to the edit page option, you'll see this is the layout for my page. And I just want to show you one thing real quickly. I'm going to minimize this sidebar here so we can see this a little bit better. So I've got if you use the Divi builder, one thing to make note of is the Divi page settings. I have the dot navigation off and the hide nav before scroll. It's hide navigation. It determines whether the navigation bar in your menu is hidden when people scroll. You can have it hide up if you want. So I have that set as a default. Scrolling down here. So for my front page, what you can see is I have a full width slider at the top, and then I've got I have a PayPal code here for my PayPal button, my opt-in, email opt-in form here, and different things. I actually have 2 of them set up that are redundant. One is for the full desktop user view, and this one is actually for the mobile user view. I had them set up differently. When a user, I had this one hides on desktop, this one hides on mobile. And I did that because I wanted a longer opt-in form for people using desktop, and I wanted a taller opt-in form for people using mobile devices. So I have 2 different ones, and the option is to hide one and not show you both of them at the same time. So down here on my blog post, what you'll see is on the front page, I have a featured blog post. I have buttons. This one will take you to the featured articles. This one will take you to all of the articles, my home page. This is the actual posts I have featured. I'm going to show you what that looks like. I just use a simple grid layout, and I selected 6 posts. So when you looked at that on the front page, what you saw is 3 across and 2 rows. And that is how I set up that segment. Going back to the, I'm going to view the page here. Now when I go to the blog page, I have something very similar. So again, got my email opt-in form, and if you click on the edit this page, I'll just show you real quick how that's set up. Scroll down and I've got this blog module set up here with the right sidebar, and again I've got them in a grid layout with 10 posts. So basically I've got 2 across with 5 rows. Now I want to show you one more thing. Well, let me show you an individual blog post. So if I click on one of these blog posts, you'll see it's set up all the way across, full column, and I've got my right sidebar. Alright, let me show you how that's set up. The key thing here to have it stretch all the way across is your page layout option over here. So on your Divi post settings, make sure you have it to show right sidebar, unless you want it to be full width. If you select full width, it will remove the sidebar. So you can also do left sidebar, right sidebar. Depends on how you want to have it set up. So make sure that this option is consistent with how you want it to display. Now I'm going to show you one more thing here real quick, and that is how you set up the thumbnail views, which determines how the images display. Go to the Divi section here and scroll up to theme options, and what you're going to want to look at here real quick is your layout section. So click on layout and there are 3 things you need to pay attention to. So this is going to determine whether you have comments on your posts. This determines whether you're going to have thumbnail images showing on your post. I have that disabled. You can choose to enable that or not, but the way I have mine displayed, I don't want thumbnail images on my post, so I have that turned off. The next one is, this is for a single post layout. So this is where you have one blog post, and this is how the images and comments will display on a single blog post. Going to the single page layout, this is if you have a front page, landing page, a blog page, a podcast page. You have a separate page by itself. This will determine how the images on that page are going to display. Do you want them all to be the large images or thumbnails? Again, place thumbnails on page, show comments on page. I have those disabled because I don't really want people leaving comments on a page by itself. I only want people leaving comments on posts. So you'll see in the previous one, when I have a blog post, I want comments on that. I don't want comments on a page. So I have that shut off. Again, place thumbnails. I don't want thumbnails on pages, so I have that disabled. General settings is the next tab. Again, with general settings, I do not want random thumbnail images showing up on my website. I only want them in certain places, so I have that disabled. So if you go in and disable most of the thumbnail image options, you won't have those big images showing up randomly on pages that annoys the heck out of you. Alright, well, I believe that is all I have for today. I hope you found this helpful. Praying Medic out.
Thanks for dropping by. I hope you enjoyed today's message. You might consider sharing it with your friends. You can do that through the links provided below the video. If you have questions or comments, my email address is admin@prayingmedic.com. If you haven't visited my website, I have a lot of articles and videos there that you might want to check out. It's www.prayingmedic.com. You can also connect with me on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for dropping by, and I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel.